Gentleman from Maryland, rise.
I move to strike the last word.
Gentleman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Last week there was a WikiLeaks activity that pointed out a huge problem that we in the world face. WikiLeaks released some confidential emails that indicated that the Saudis had only 60% of the oil that they had advertised that they had. I think this is probably true of most of the OPEC countries that were incented to exaggerate their oil reserves when they were permitted to pump a percentage of the oil reserves. There's almost nobody now who doesn't agree that the world reached its maximum production of conventional oil in 2006. We've been stuck now for about 5 years at 85 million barrels a day of oil, and increasingly the difference between conventional oils, which are now falling off in production, and that 85 million barrels a day is made up by unconventional oil like the heavy sour of of Venezuela and the tar sands of Alberta, Canada. Our military has been very wisely pursuing a goal that the rest of us should have been involved in. Maybe they read Hyman Rickover's speech from 1957, where he noted that in the 8,000-year recorded history of man, the age of oil would be but a blip. He didn't know then how long it would last, but he said how long it lasted was important in only one regard. The longer it lasted, the more time would we have to plan an orderly transition to other sources of energy. Of course, we have done none of that, in spite of the fact that we have known for 31 years of an absolute certainty that we're going to get here today, because by 1980 we were already 10 years down the other side of Hubbard's Peak, as predicted by M. King Hubbard in 1956. The military has been attuned to this problem much more than any other part of our society, and they have been very wisely pursuing alternative fuels, because as we wind down on the available fossil fuels, the world will ultimately, of course, move to alternative fuels. And the military has several reasons for doing this. It's a very aggressive program, a very wise program, and I think that it would just be tragic if we were to eliminate the funds for this. They increasingly need to move to alternatives for all of the reasons that the rest of us need to be alternatives, and for additional reason. They now are moving to alternatives that they can produce on site to reduce the long supply trails that create so many casualties over there. They ought to have been doing this earlier. I'm delighted they're doing it now, and I think it would be a national security tragedy if we were to deny them the funds to continue doing this, and I yield back.
Chairman yields back. For what purpose, gentlelady from California, rise?